Hello, this is Richard Curtis here, maker of TV shows and films, some fair, some poor. I want to talk to you about something really wonderful, which myself and a lot of people and organisations are doing in the course of this year, and it's called Project Everyone. In the year 2000, the UN issued this group of goals called the Millennium Development Goals, which were a kind of plan to really deal with some of the worst things, to deal with hunger, poverty, kids not in education, water, sanitation, peace, all these things. They have in fact been remarkably effective and part of a remarkable 15 years. What's happening is that in 2015, this year, the UN are issuing some new goals, the Sustainable Development Goals, and we think of them as a sort of series of actions which, if taken, could achieve these two amazing goals, which is to bring to the end extreme poverty and also to really get to grips with the issue of climate change. So one of the most important parts of Project Everyone is to try and reach children all around the world. And we've come up with this idea of what we're calling the world's largest lesson, the idea of trying to create this extraordinary, comprehensive, collaborative educational project so that every teacher in every country will have some resource and be part of this plan to actually let a whole new generation know about the goals. We want to create a context in which schools are excited and interested about the goals, and there's a special determination that this is a lesson which in a way lasts a lifetime. And what would be wonderful is to have your help and collaboration in both preparing and getting this extraordinary message out to a generation which will actually see these things through.
Whenever they have a job, they have good health, looking for income, so the poverty will be ended one time.
Once someone is educated, that person can easily read documents about the diseases that are affecting the world, and by so doing they can be in a position to adhere to the precautions that they are supposed to take in order not to be affected by the said diseases.
Education will really help to lift up the people in my community, in poor areas and conflict areas, in participating education.
Well, from our country's perspective, education has been the key to lifting the prosperity of the country.
Education is important for the Sustainable Development Goals because education is a fundamental human right. It is also a public good, and also it is important for empowerment of all our citizens of the world.
If you want to empower people, give them education.
To be open-minded for global issues in the world.
So it's important that children in our country understand the importance of living in a global community and understand the importance of the Sustainable Development Goals that we all aspire to.
So what is important is for people to actually have a saying in the goals. And this time around, with Sustainable Development Goals, they are from bottom up.
We are supporting this campaign because these goals will be universal goals. It will be our goals for the next 15 years.
important for the children of my country to be involved in the world's largest lessons so that they should have a holistic understanding, global outlook on the challenges that they are faced with, and also come to terms that they are not the only ones that are challenged with what they are experiencing on the during daily lives.
So I think from the beginning you are doing a very good project so that people can now understand what is the new Sustainable Development Goals for the future.
Antigua and Barbuda will be supporting the world's largest lesson, primarily because of the broad base of content that it offers. Oftentimes, especially in small developing countries like my own, there's an adequate access to such a broad database of resources. What the world's largest lesson enables us to do is not only to access the content, but at the same time to access the network.
South Africa has in the past 20 years, 21 years, done extremely well in terms of access. We have universal access in terms of primary school and almost universal access in terms of high school. However, central to the provision of education is the ability to provide quality education, and therefore we are paying particular attention to the areas of literacy, numeracy, mathematics, science and technology as important elements within the system of education for the provision of quality education.
Some of our schools are very remote with small populations, so being able to provide technology to those schools so they receive a quality education.
The next thing I think which is very important is relevance of education. You need to be able to get the people, when they finish, to be able to go out and do something which is relevant to themselves, which will help themselves, they will help their family, help the country, which means they can even fit into the world of work. So we need to have a relevant education.
The other one is the personnel, the teachers. The teachers, because for there to be quality education, teacher is key. So we need to make sure that we train more teachers. Yes, we make sure that the welfare of teachers is taken care of. We make teaching profession a profession that is loved, like in this country, so that people want to join teaching profession.
We would ensure that all our learners in primary school and high school participate in the event, and we would do so by utilizing various forms of media. We would also ensure that our educators are adequately prepared so that they become aware of the issues that confront the world in relation to the environment, in relation to education, and particularly the 6 strategic goals of education.
I look forward to working with UNICEF and other civil society partners, as well as utilize social media to get the word out about the world's largest lesson.
Well, among many other things, I'm going to try to get my mom to teach the world's largest lesson in her classroom.
I want to be amongst the first students to participate in a class. I want to lead by example. That is very important.
The student population in Palestine, about 1,002,000 people. So if I can, share with half of them, quarter of them, it will be nice. Yeah, I will do my best. Okay.
I think we in Lebanon will try to reach the highest per capita refugee children in the world, which is 400,000 child out of school, and we want to giving them schooling, but also letting them about this such great initiatives, knowing about the SDGs and the largest lessons of the world.
I want to share with all of them, with all of them.
I will give the opportunity to every child to be in a school.